Attorney Jerome Pay. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man Jerome with me.
What's up, Daryl?
Man,
Off.
another day in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
You know, we spent last show talking about voting rights, the importance, you know, because it was the end of Black History Month.
Absolutely.
And, you know, man, you know, what we were talking about in that last show, man, was just, powerful. In my mind, it was powerful. You know, about how the law has done nothing but protect people like us. Now, there is times that the law has done us some serious injustice.
That's right.
You know, we always should say justice is not blind. She's peeking up when you're blind. You know, she's peeking through the blindfold. You know, some of these early enactments that we talked about, man, were really beneficial.
I think you're absolutely correct, Daryl.
All right, well, let's give our shout-outs.
Sure.
Shout-outs to California. Shout-outs to Little Rock, Arkansas. Shout-outs to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout-out to Memphis, Shelby County. Shout-out to Mississippi. Shout-out to the great state of Missouri. Shout-out to my family, the Jerome's family.
Hey,
I got to give a special shout-out to my wife because she hooked me up with some stuff today.
Oh, good.
So she good looking out for me.
Great.
All right. So, Jerome, and we're going to put the number up on the screen, too. If you have YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Roku TV, Fire Stick TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, or the SVP TV network app, you can just call in right now and we'll answer those questions.
In real time.
In real time.
Yeah.
Real time. And then it'll replay next on Tuesday. On Tuesday, yeah.
And then it will be on Facebook probably tonight.
It will.
Yeah,
it will be on
I
Facebook.
noticed that, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook tonight.
So if you want your, 5 seconds,
Your
8
5
seconds,
seconds of fame.
Yes, call tonight.
Yeah.
And Daryl, I'm so excited again about this show tonight because we're just going to try and do all we can to educate people of color and let them know that the law can be a sword and it can be a shield. And most of the time it has shielded us as people of color from a lot of negativity and a lot of bad stuff, hasn't it?
It has. You know, so one of the things that a lot of people, you know, that I talk to, a lot of people of color, have started the process of trying to incorporate themselves.
Oh, yeah.
To establish a business, incorporate it, and different things of that nature.
That's a good thing, Daryl. That's a good
It
thing.
is a good thing, but it's a bad thing at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you incorporate, the corporation becomes a person by itself.
An entity of itself.
Right.
Yes.
And that entity is separate from you as the person.
That's right.
And you cannot represent your corporation.
Oh, that's true.
So if you are going to set up a corporation, the question is, if you have a legal issue or if you're sued, do you have the financial wherewithal to retain counsel?
That's an excellent question there. And I think, and you're right. And so it's like everything else that we say, if a black person needs information, they won't find it because it's in the book.
Right.
And so what you just said is that what they're doing is they're hearing people say LLC, they're saying it a corporation, which is good because it protects you from personal liability. But on the other side, you can't represent yourself, so then you got to spend money to hire counsel to do anything for you.
Yeah, without a doubt. And so what I always tell people, you know, again, Jerome, I don't know how you're set up, you know, but, you know, again, I got 25, and I'm not close, you know, you got a few more years than I do.
Yeah.
But my starting of my practice, and even to this day, I operate myself as a sole proprietorship.
The whole time. Huh?
The whole time.
Yeah.
And the reason why I do this, or the reason why I, you know, kind of set this up that way, is number one, I want everything, and I can turn into an S corp and some other stuff,
Sure,
you know.
sure.
But I want everything to run through my personal income tax.
That's good.
You know, it tracks through, it files through, it's set up through.
That's good.
You know, but the other thing is, you know, I envision that if I was giving consultation to people about corporations, non-corporation, that I can let them know, hey, I'm not a corporation. You know, and everybody always worries, well, if I'm a corporation, I'm not a corporation, people can come after me individually.
Personally, that's right. Yeah.
Here's the problem. Whenever you borrow money, whenever you spend money, and you're doing it on behalf of your corporation, they always want you to sign liability.
That's absolutely correct. And I tell people all the time that it's the very same thing there when they have their corporations, and when the corporation fails, they believe that that's the end, but not necessarily,
Right.
because no financial institution is going to lend money to a person who is in business without having a personal guarantee.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. And so in other words, you are the co-signer for your business.
Yeah. So it defeats the purpose of what you were
No
going
question,
for.
no
You know,
question, Daryl.
I mean,
You're
and again, you know, obviously, you know, I have, you know, an asset concern. You know, obviously, if somebody's suing me individually for something I did in my business, or they sue me individual for something I did personally and trying to get to my business, you know, they have some overlapping problems.
That's true.
You know, number one is there is still some separation, and then I can identify that separation. You know, and that's the other thing with a corporation when people set this thing up, is have a clear line of demarcation
True.
of your business and you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't commingle my funds.
Absolutely.
My business account, all the money goes in that account, that's where it is. My personal account is my stuff. None of the business stuff goes in there.
And see, that's one of the reasons, too, that you've been successful, because the discipline.
Yeah.
Most people are not disciplined enough to have that demarcation line, because that's what get a lot of business people in trouble, because they're dipping back and forth.
Right.
And they're commingling funds. And so when something does occur, there's not a clear line of business and the individual. So you kind of screwed up.
Yeah. and so, Jerome, but the other thing that I always look at in that is, and it's, so when you have these two different entities, right, and you're trying to figure some things out, well, number one, if you're a corporation, you're paying salaries to people, or you're paying salaries to yourself, or you're paying 1099 to people or yourself. The other reason why I did the sole proprietorship is because I'm not required to do any consistency in regards to paying me. And when you're a business owner, the business needs to survive first,
Yes.
you know, and then you. Let's see, we got a question, Jerome.
Okay, good. Great.
Woo! So let me tell you what they say, Jerome.
Okay.
This person said, I was in prison and my girlfriend did not pay our mortgage for 6 months. They are giving us until the end of May to pay $16,000. But of course, we don't have it. My girlfriend is on the deed, but not on the mortgage. It's only my name on the mortgage. What can I do?
Oh, wow, Daryl. That's perfect for Chapter 13.
Yeah.
That is a perfect way to deal with the debt, because Chapter 13. Well, let's just do the whole thing there.
Okay.
First of all, whenever there is a mortgage, whenever there is a debt of any type, there's language contained within the documents that in the deed of trust that says that after so many missed payments, the loan then becomes into default.
Right.
All right.
And acceleration.
And then after default, then the acceleration comes. So, though you said you were $16,000 in arrears, that's partially correct.
Right.
But you really owe the entire
Right.
$280,000.
Right.
Because even if you came up with the $16,000, there's nothing that requires them to accept it.
Right.
Because the loan now has been accelerated and is all due.
Right. Right.
Now, but in comes chapter 13, walks right in the middle of that situation, and from the moment that is filed, all collection activity must cease because of the automatic stay. And then that allows you to reorganize the debt, and someone will take a look at it. And so where the loan was accelerated, chapter 13 then decelerates it.
Yeah. Let's put a slowdown on that. Yeah.
Decelerates and then put it back on a monthly payment.
And
plan.
put the money that you
And
owed on
put the arrears
Yeah.
behind you.
Right.
In other words, you don't have to even look back at it.
Yeah.
You just keep going forward. But over the terms of 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, or 60 months, you pay back the arrears. And one good thing about it, too, is that most of the time we can do it without any interest. Wow.
Paying back the
I
you
said
can't
something then.
Yeah.
Because
you can't
a
beat
lot of
that.
times people make the mistake of going to their 401k and borrowing the money out of 401k to catch it up at whatever rate that it takes. Because you know, if you pull money out of 401k early, you're gonna hit all kinds of penalties.
You're going to get two penalties.
Yeah.
You're going to get the early withdrawal penalty.
That's exactly.
And then you're going to get the IRS lump sum penalty.
That's exactly
You're going to
right.
get two penalties.
Or
and it's 20% each one of them.
Or they will go somewhere else and borrow money from
10%, yeah.
Ace Cash Express or some other place at
Cash in a box,
some exorbitant rate, and have to try to pay that back. And then before you know it, they're going to default on that one. So your best out is to call someone and do a chapter 13. Now, chapter 13 has got a bad name.
Yeah, it has.
Why? What's
Well,
up with that? Help me understand.
Because of people like me, Jerome, the reason why it's taking a bad name. And my point of it is, you know, if you didn't have, and I don't mean any disrespect, Colin, when I say this, you didn't have any discipline to pay the expenses on time when
I don't
you.
know. Why did I ask you that
Yes,
question?
if you didn't have the discipline to pay it on time. Now, in his case, it was different because he was gone. His girlfriend was taking care of.
I was about to say that.
You know,
yeah.
so there's some different things here.
I was about to say that.
But if the problem I always have with chapter 13 is people cannot meet their obligations, and I don't know the numbers. I mean, you and I have joked before, and I think I had talked to Danielle, and I was going to ask Danielle one time.
Dominique.
Dominique. I said Danielle. Yeah.
She gonna kill you, man.
Yeah, Danielle. Dominique. I asked Dominique one time.
Right.
I know her father, and mother.
Right,
I'm like, you know,
right.
you know, I asked Dominique one time, you know, because I believe the numbers of failures of chapter 13 is in the 70 percentile.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. Now, I believe it's probably even higher, but
I don't disagree.
yeah. And so I asked her about it once, you know, just to,
Right.
you know, just for my own edification. And that's the problem, Jerome. See, a chapter 7, and
Wait, before you move, now, Daryl, remember, bankruptcy law goes back to antiquity. Okay, so some years ago, maybe in the BCs or something like that, they determined that it was unhealthy to have a society that's debt laden.
yeah.
Because
debt courts and all those other
that's right.
Slavery,
yes. So they decided that it was in the public interest to have a method of relieving people of oppressive debt. All right, that's the first thing. And then the next thing was that because we are all human, and things happen that are beyond our control.
I agree with that.
So me and my wife have purchased a home. And like you said, I went to prison, all right, and so the mortgage got behind. Or I discovered that I only have a short period of time to live because now I'm at stage 4. You see what I'm saying? But I've been sick all along.
Right.
I've been sick because I've been taken out, but nobody's been able to diagnose what's going on. So I'm not making the money I just made. Or my company closed down. IKEA's closing down now, Daryl. It's 114 employees will lose their job. And so that's what bankruptcy was designed to do, was to step in and kind of have a bridge over troubled water
Mm-hmm.
for people. So it's not necessarily that the person was not disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
That's just only one phase of it. But what about the other phases where the people just need a little help?
No, that's that's interesting, because yeah, I mean, the thing that, and I want to back up for a minute, Jerome.
Okay.
The thing that I, chapter 13, like you said, it really resets you.
Yes.
And it really does put you, gives you a start, give you a fresh start.
That's right.
But, you got to figure out, again, one of the things that chapter 13 does is it will redo your interest if your interest is out of control.
That's exactly
which is
right.
a good thing.
That's an excellent thing.
But if your payment, in this case, she hadn't paid for 6 months,
Right.
The amount of money is $16,000.
Right.
So I envision that his mortgage is, give or take, about $2,500, almost $3,000.
Per month. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good math. there.
Yeah, in order to get to 16,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
good math. Yeah.
So that's a pretty high mortgage.
Yes, it is.
So the question is, well, two questions. Number one, where was the money, or where did the money go that was set that was set aside, or that you were given, or whatever was case was, to pay the mortgage?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear money was set aside.
I didn't
I didn't
either.
hear that. Well, so where did that come from?
Well, here's where I come
You
from.
added some additional facts.
I did
Just
not.
stick with the facts that we know. We don't
I-
know nothing about no additional money.
I'm-
We don't know about no being set aside.
Okay, so, yeah, and so here's why I say that, Jerome.
Okay.
I inferred this. Now I'm getting my this.
Right.
I inferred this when I read the email,
Okay,
the
that's
text.
fine. No, so at least it's on the table now, but I didn't hear anything in the facts about that. So now that I hear the facts.
No,
keep
let me
on
give
going.
let me give you the fact.
Okay.
Here's the fact that makes it there.
Okay.
My girlfriend did not pay our mortgage. So he said she did not pay.
Well, where's the money for her to pay?
Again, I'm gonna assume
He's in prison.
He's in prison.
So where did the money come from?
I don't.
And see, that's
yeah.
the thing we don't know. So in other words, I don't like the fact that you inferred that you put in some additional facts. That's facts not on record. Remember how we say all the time, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Your Honor, he's put some facts in that's not in record.
Yeah.
Now we know that there must have been some methodology that maybe the person put in
Yeah.
place, but we don't know who paid the utility bill, who paid the car note, who paid all these other things about food.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that she was being trifling.
I didn't say trifling. I didn't say trifling.
Does it sounded like that
Nah,
when
I
you said
didn't-
why wasn't it paid?
I just asked
Okay,
why.
okay.
I just asked. I inquired. I didn't say
I
she was
believe-
trifling.
I believe it sounds to me, based on what I have heard, that she was also trying to do some other things to maintain the household.
And I possibly can understand that. But here's the thing, Jerome. If your money, okay, two things. And again, we'll go back to two things.
Okay.
Number one, this mortgage debt is his and only his. So and she's on the mortgage.
Okay.
She's on the deed, but she's not on the loan. We had this conversation all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's on the deed, which means that once you pay this mortgage off, she's half owner.
She's still going to be able to.
Yeah, she's going to sell 50% of that home.
That's right.
Because she's shucks, if she got pissed off, she can go to court and do a petition for partition
I
sale
think that's-
and force the house to be
I think
sold.
that's true too.
So
Yes.
when you put people on mortgages, you got to really think about the ramifications
I
to
agree
doing
with
that.
that.
But number two is he's got to be willing to file bankruptcy for himself.
He has to be the one, since she's not on the mortgage.
Right.
So he has to be the one that actually files.
Yeah.
Now, the question becomes, what is his interest? Is it 50-50?
Oh, I think so.
Because because remember the deed has to say one way or the other. The joint tenant was right of
Oh,
first
well,
slip.
yeah.
It has to
I'm certain it don't say any of that stuff. I'm certain
it just says her name's on the deed. That's all. How can that be they're not married?
It's a ghetto fabulous quit claim deed.
Oh.
That's what it is. I ain't even seen it. I ain't even seen it, and I know. They went to the assessors or the registered deeds website where it's got all them forms on there.
Right.
All you gotta do is fill it out, get it notarized and signed and send it off. That's what they do.
But you know I talk about that all the time too. If there are some changes made in the terms of the deed, it actually can.
Oh no, it's void. It accelerates.
Yeah, accelerates the deed.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, look.
I think there's some problems there, all over the place, aren't there?
This is not good. Okay, this is and I'm being nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what you need to do, and I don't normally say this, you need to file Chapter 13.
No question about that. You don't have to do that to save the property.
Yeah, you need to do this.
Right.
And you can't get around saying you didn't know because they told you got to get it paid by May. So you have March, April, and May, or March and April to come up with those funds. And if you can't come up with them in this period of time, just file Chapter 13.
Well, I'm thinking too. Again, because we don't have all of the facts in place, I believe. It sounds to me like that's the redemption period is May, that they're going to send it out to start the foreclosure process. But it's still probably an additional 60 days in it after that.
No, I don't care what the May date is the date that he needs to be in front of.
Well, you would have to have a letter saying that the foreclosure date is set for that day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm thinking they're saying that we're going to begin the process if you don't cure. That's the cure period.
Yeah, that's the cure period.
So you still may have a little time. But again,
I don't play with that, Jerome.
And you're right.
Yeah, I don't play with that.
A lot of times it doesn't make sense to play with it since we know what we got to do. Just do it and be done with it.
I mean, here we are in March.
I agree.
Yeah, here we are in March.
Okay.
The guy was pretty crystal clear.
I agree. Okay.
He says, I owe $16,000. I don't have the money, and I won't have it by May. So he's already knows he doesn't have it. He knows he's not going to get it. So, I don't know why you were in prison. Hopefully what you were in prison for, and when you got out, you had some income to deal with life.
But see, there are the other
because you got to have income for chapter 13.
But the other problem is, if they file too soon, it's still not gonna be successful. So because if they were to file in March, the payments have to begin in April.
Yeah.
And May. Mm-hmm. So my suggestion is to wait until May and file.
Or the first day of the month, yeah.
Because then you're getting your money together because as soon as you file, you got to start paying.
Yeah.
And I don't think the ability to pay is set in stone just yet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
so
look,
use that to your advantage to start gathering all of your funds together. And I tell people all the time too, Darryl, is that this is the time to sit down with the family members and have a conversation. Say, hey, I'm going to need a little support for just a moment.
Me too. And that's what they're going to say. Me too.
Until I get on my feet. Because I gotta file Chapter 13, but I must start making these payments.
Right.
And now I may be a felon. And so it's going to make it even more difficult.
Yeah.
Because remember, it sounds to me like he's a felon now.
Well, if he was going, well, maybe not. It's only 6 months. He could be, that's a misdemeanor.
It could be. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
So it's going to make it even more difficult.
Your life is rough once you get to that threshold. Yeah. And, you're going to have to really do some twisting and turning to get back in control. Because if you don't, you're going to lose this house.
But I see a way out. Call me. I'll help you. I see a way out.
Yeah.
Because look, the thing about it is that we file bankruptcies every single day for people who are having a hard time. Mm-hmm. It's designed for that. Mm-hmm. And then what we'll do is we'll sit you down and we'll put you in front of the mirror and say, you are the problem. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who caused this great fall? And it's you, dude.
Yeah.
And so now you just have to have a new leaf on life. I was down this road. that road led me to this problem. Now I'm at the fork now, and I'm going this way, and that's what chapter 13 is there waiting on you to walk you to
Yeah.
the yellow brick road.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, and the follow-up question is on this one, can they sell the house? The short answer is yes,
Oh, absolutely.
but there are some nuances there.
Have to sell it for market value.
You got to sell it for market value.
That's right.
Or you can do a short sale back to the bank. You know, if you can get a buyer that comes in that says that, look, I'll take it over where you are, give you a couple dollars, and you move on, and then I'll take care of it.
And you can do a deed in lieu of foreclosure.
Deed in lieu of foreclosure.
So it's not, in other words there, this is not the end of the world.
Yeah, well, because when I look at this number, his mortgage is $2,500, give or take. This is a $500,000 house.
No
almost.
question about it.
This is almost a $500,000.
And
Yeah,
there's no question
yeah.
about it.
This house is
And
a big
then
number.
we don't know how long they were in the home first before it got to this point. They could have been there for years, and now there's a big equity
The
pool.
equity. Oh, yeah.
Equity pool sitting there, you know, that can be tapped into at some point.
Yeah, no,
So,
I got that. I
in
agree
other
there.
words, you need some professional advice.
Man, you better get in it. You better get on it fast. I'm telling you know. Again, I don't
So we
normally
can
take.
help you.
I don't normally take a position on this, but I mean, you got 3 or 4 real options, but the most glaring option you have is bankruptcy. But you already hit it. You can do a deed in lieu of foreclosure. You can do a short sale.
That's right.
You can try to sell it for market value. I mean, those are your 4 options there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day,
One thing we forgot there, you can do a modification. You can do a modification. And a modification will subsume
okay.
the missed payments.
Yeah, but he can't do a modification
Why not?
because, what people don't realize, man, modifications are time consuming. And what happens is
It does take. But
they'll have you in foreclosure before you.
No,
yeah.
no.
It doesn't automatically stop the foreclosure.
No, you can't be on 2 tracks at the same time.
No, but I don't think it automatically stops the foreclosure.
Yes, it does. You cannot be on a modification track and a foreclosure track at the same time. If the modification is presented, they have to stall the foreclosure while the modification is on track.
Man, I've seen some that people that got foreclosed and they were in full blown in the modification.
I don't think that they can do it. I think they have to stop.
Is there a law that says that?
I just don't know that off the top of my head, but I've never seen 2 tracks going at the same time. So you've seen it?
I have, and it's been disgusting. Yeah, oh, I have.
I mean, so did nobody reached out to the mortgage company to find out why you still going on this track, why the people are...
Well, so here's what happens, Jerome. People, when they're doing a modification, they're listening, but they're not hearing. And what I mean by that is, so when you send stuff to the
know
mortgage
exactly what you're
company
saying.
for the modification, and then they send you a deficiency letter saying you need X1, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Well, only thing that most people will do is send them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You agree.
And
Instead of sending everything
you got to send
back.
everything back.
And see there, I'm glad you said that because now there's supposed to be a portal that all the documents are lifted up to the portal, uploaded to the portal. And so when they say they don't have a particular one, you just add that and then you send everything back again.
Oh.
And that's what you have to keep doing.
Okay.
Send it back over and over again because they're inevitably they're going to say that you didn't send something.
and that starts you all the way back over again.
True.
And then
True.
so
I agree.
but let me just tell you, if you go through a modification, let me give you the smartest thing that you could do if you go on a modification. The government has a 1-800 number for people that are going on modification.
I agree.
You call that 1-800 number and give them your information. They will make direct contact with the mortgage, find out specific what the mortgage company needs, tell you what it is, and you will be really protected for just that little window there.
I agree.
Yeah,
agree.
they are.
That's a great idea.
That's what I would advise
That's
to do.
a great idea.
Well, Jerome, we running down here. So a couple other things, man. This guy really needs to make some fast moves.
No question about it. But Daryl, what's so beautiful about it is that he's reaching out already.
He is.
You see what I'm saying?
For free. He did a free reach out.
Look, and so we gave him a consultation.
And no cost.
And it's the same thing for anybody else who's listening to us. We will do the very same thing for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. We'll have a special guest next week.
Okay.
You know, getting into political season, so we're gonna do political stuff, the law and politics.
I was a little bit disappointed that Jasmine Crockett lost her race the other night. She's probably one of the most brilliant politicians that we've seen in a long time. She doesn't play there. She always has her stuff in line and ready.
And that's why she didn't get it.
And so they drew her out of her district.
Yeah. That's why she didn't get it.
Right.
You know, it's sad to say that, but you know, she is more prepared, and she is.
Oh my goodness!
But the thing about it is, the guy who beat her was considered a moderate for the Democratic guy, young guy.
36 years old.
Yeah, he's a pastor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
really?
he's a pastor, and he, supposedly Trump elevated him. I'm gonna tell you how Trump elevated him. Trump told everybody, don't vote for him. He's a piece of crap. He ain't no good. He's a lying dog. He's a snake in the grass. And once he said that, people couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to vote for him. Okay. All right. So last thing, we always say, bad press is just as good as good press.
That's exactly right.
Thank you. Mike Williams will be on next week. Hold on a second. Mike Williams will be on next week. So, tune in and you'll get all that kind of information about that.
Okay.
That'll be a good spot.
Oh yeah, we love when Mike's on.
Oh my goodness, man. Mike's running for political office. I think he's running for the clerk's office.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly right.
and he's the administrative officer in that office.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, he would be the, on paper, he would be the
next successor.
Yeah,
maybe
because he knows where all the bodies are buried, and maybe
he
can unbury them and get some stuff under control.
Exactly right.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the show. Please tune in next week. Again, we'll have Mike Williams here, and he's going to really give us some political layouts on what it is that he wants to do in the clerk's office.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you back next week.